friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be the first budget for the month of November. I have in front of me here my Budget by Paycheck Workbook printable. I have last year's version of the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. I purchased the printable version so that I could print the pages that I need, leave out the pages that I don't, and I can print them over and over and over again so I can use it for years to come. I love it. It was a very, very sound investment. I use the worksheets from this workbook every single week to set up my budget. And that's what we're going to do today. It's the first paycheck in the month of November. So I've got some work to do to set things up. I have printed out all of the pages that I need here. I actually went ahead and printed out my worksheets for November as well as December. I'm going to be needing them soon. We're going to be wrapping up the year soon, so I just went ahead and printed out everything that I needed. If you are not familiar with the way that I do my budgets, I don't use all of the worksheets from the Budget by Paycheck Workbook. I primarily use the Paycheck Bill Tracker and the Cash Envelope Breakdown. I believe that on the Budget Mom's website, you can go and just purchase these two worksheets. If you are like me and you don't need all of the extra stuff, the transaction tracking pages, the kind of monthly wrap-up pages, I believe you can buy these printables separately for just a couple dollars. At least you used to be able to. So that's an option if you're looking for super affordability when it comes to budget worksheets, because I know that the entire workbook, even if you buy the printable version, can be pricey, and then you have to buy the paper and the ink for your printer and all of that. So that might be an option for you if you're looking for worksheets to do your budget, but you don't want to buy the whole thing. I purchased the whole printable workbook even though I only use these couple pages, because I never know in the future if I might want to use the other pages, and I wanted them available to me. I got it on a really great deal around this time last year. I think it was a Black Friday sale, actually. And I paid, I want to say $27 for the entire workbook. And like I said, I can print these pages over and over and over and over again. So definitely highly recommend the Budget Mom. There are so many resources on her website, not just worksheets. There's cash envelopes, there's tons of printables, there's also physical things that you can have shipped to your door. You can get this whole workbook, an updated version of this workbook, you know, already printed and bound and sent to your door. So highly recommend the Budget Mom. She also has a great Instagram page with tons of inspiration. I really do credit the Budget Mom for really helping keep me organized. I don't follow all of her suggestions, and I don't have all of her products. I've kind of put my own spin on a lot of her ideas, but I take my budget inspiration from a lot of different places. The Budget Mom, Dave Ramsey, tons and tons of people here on YouTube that you can follow. So, you know, I just kind of pick and choose what works for me and put my own spin on it, and that's what I have done for the past couple years now, but primarily like really focusing hard this past year, and it's been working out great. I've been paying down debt. I'm really, really excited about all the progress I've made. I did not mean to go on a 5-minute tangent. Sorry, you guys. Let's go ahead and get these pages punched and put into my workbook so we can set up the budget. So, like I said, I've printed out the pages that I need. Here I have all of my November and December pages, but they're all kind of mixed up here, so I need to organize them and figure out what goes where. If you are curious, I print the pages full size. I do the pages for bookbinding, so they print on both sides. My printer has the capability to print on both sides of the paper. And I use 28-pound paper from Staples. I believe the Budget Mom actually recommends 32-pound paper if you want like really sturdy, stiff pages. When I bought my paper, all I could find was 28-pound paper, and it works out great. It's thicker than like your typical printer paper. It's really beautiful quality, and it works out great for me. So let me just organize these pages because I have December on top and November on the bottom here. I also have this printable from Chrissy over at Themomlife. She's got a great YouTube channel as well. She does tons of budgeting videos. She has this available on her website. I will link her YouTube channel and her website in the description box. You can check it out. She's always doing these fun challenges, and she's challenged us to do a spending freeze in November. Apparently it wasn't just me that did a lot of screwing up in October and overspending. A lot of people were in that boat, and so we're using November as an opportunity to button up our budget and not spend more than we budget for. So this printable's fun. I'm going to be using this all month, so I want to get this punched and put into my paycheck bill tracker as well. I printed it both full size on a sheet to put into my Budget by Paycheck workbook, and I also printed it this way so that I could keep this on my fridge. I'm just going to cut it down, and this is going to be a reminder like, hey, don't spend money. Alright, let me get these pages organized, and we're going to get them punched, and we're going to get going. So it's going to go this way. There are 4 weeks in November, so I need to make sure that I have a paycheck bill tracker and a cash envelope breakdown for all 4 weeks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course my husband gets paid on Tuesdays, so I just count the Tuesdays to figure out how many weeks there are. I know in December there are 5 paychecks, so while we're at it, we'll just go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it looks like I messed up my printing a little bit. I meant for this to be on this back page, but I accidentally selected an expense tracker to print as well. Maybe I'll use this to keep track of my Christmas shopping. That might be a good way to use that. So that's how we are going to punch this. I use a arc punch. It is a great big punch. The way that it punches, it lines up perfectly with a Happy Planner disc bound system, which is what I use to keep all of my pages together. These are just plastic Happy Planner discs. You can also get metal ones. This works out fine for me, so this is what I do. I'm just going to split these pages up a little bit. This arc punch can punch, I believe, up to 10 pages at a time, which is why I use this and not a Happy Planner punch, because the Happy Planner punch, you can only punch 1 page at a time, and nobody's got time for that. So let me go ahead and get these pages punched. Probably gonna shake you guys around a little bit. This punch is massive, and I do that every time I try to put it in backwards. Oy. Okay, it's very dusty because I only use it like once a month. There we go. Those pages are punched and ready. Grab another little stack here. I don't like to overload my punch. I'd rather just punch a few sheets at a time and take my time with it so that I don't end up damaging the punch, because it was not inexpensive. The punch that I use, I purchased from Amazon, and I'll have that linked down below as well. Everything that I use in this video I will try to link for you guys to make it real easy if you would like to have a similar system. So last month I managed to punch my pages all kinds of crazy, so hopefully I got it right this time. Oh, we can't forget this little no spend November page. It's gonna be tough because my birthday month is November. My birthday's actually on Saturday, and historically I have done a lot of spending in the name of, well, it's my birthday and I deserve it. I did a lot of that towards the end of October, so hopefully this page will help remind me to keep myself in check. I am going to be starting a new sinking fund, which is going to be a birthday sinking fund, so that in the future I have cash for my birthday, my kid's birthday, my husband's birthday, so that we are not overspending when that comes up. That should have been something that I've had all along, but you know, we learn as we go. Anytime that I find myself consistently overspending on something, that is a clue to me that I either need to up my budget or start a sinking fund for that thing. So this is going to be our transition into November. I printed out this fun quote page from the Budget Mom. It says, "When you start believing in yourself, you become unstoppable. You can achieve your dreams." And yeah, I believe that's true. So let's go ahead and flip to the first paycheck bill tracker in November, and we're gonna get this budget set up. So I have my pens here. I use the Parkoo erasable pens. I love a good erasable pen because I make a lot of mistakes. I like to be able to, you know, erase them and start over, but I don't like writing in pencil. So this is like the best of both worlds. This is the best of the erasable pens that I've tried. I love it. They're super affordable. Highly recommend these. All right, so this is paycheck number 1. You guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, that I don't share my husband's income. He would prefer that I don't do that, so I don't. Let me zoom you guys in just a touch. And the paycheck date is November 3rd. So I budget by paycheck, hence the Budget by Paycheck workbook, not necessarily by month. So my month technically started on November 3rd because that was my first paycheck in November. And it will go from November 3rd. This is my deluxe monthly planner from Erin Condren that I use to keep track of all my transactions. It'll go from November 3rd until November 30th because my first December paycheck happens to fall on the 1st of December. So that's the way that I do it. I focus my November budget in those weeks of November. I don't budget from the 1st till the 30th because it just doesn't make sense to do it that way. These couple of days in November, the 1st and 2nd, were taken care of with my last paycheck in October. So hopefully that helps explain it. So this paycheck date is November 3rd, 2020. Oh, that's cute. And we're gonna just start writing this up. So first, under this bills category, I write out everything that is going to be paid from my checking account. I pull out a lot of things in cash. I really like dealing with cash with my budget because it's tangible, I can hold it, I can count it, and when I spend it, I have to watch it go away, and it's sad, and it helps keep me most of the time in check and keep me from overspending. Because, like, you know, if you have $20 to spend and your bill is $22, obviously you're not going to be able to do that. You know, you're going to run out of cash. So that's just kind of how I think about it. I used to be very anti-cash and all about like swiping a debit card or a credit card. I do still do that on occasion. We are on a debt-free journey and trying to pay off our credit cards, but we also use some of our credit cards regularly and pay them off because we like the rewards, and we use the rewards this time of year to add a little bit of extra money to our Christmas fund. So when I do a Christmas budget later on this month or early next month, I don't know when I'm going to get around to filming that, you guys will see that I have my full $1,000 that I saved throughout the year in my sinking funds, which you guys have seen me do throughout the year, but I also have some extra money from credit card rewards. So I keep going off on tangents. I'm very chatty today. Let's get this stuff written out. So for bills, it's all of my weekly bills. It's my grocery budget because I use the Walmart pickup service, so I do my grocery shopping online. Anything that is going to get paid directly from my checking account goes under bills. So in this case, it's going to be grocery and household. I have decided to combine that budget again. I'm going to track the transactions separately. You guys know I use a color coding system in my deluxe monthly planner. I've actually already started tracking for the week. I'm filming this on Thursday. So I will continue to track them, groceries in pink, households in green, that way, just so I can kind of see the patterns as they emerge. But the total, as long as the total of those two things add up and are less than this budgeted amount, I will be satisfied with that. And the budgeted amount is going to be $175. So ideally it's $150 for grocery, $25 for household, but if I spend $30 on household and $140 on grocery, that'll be okay, as long as the total comes in under that $175. All right. What do we have next? Next up, we have some bills that need to be taken care of. These bills are actually not slated to be paid until next week, but I got myself a little bit ahead. So I always start out the beginning of my month and put in all of my bills kind of around when they're due and get an idea of when I'm going to be paying things, but then I find that I get ahead, and so I'm paying next week's bills. And so for December, I think I'm going to not put the bill stickers in until I'm actually ready to pay them, so that things line up a little bit better. I understand this just fine, but it's complicated to explain in videos, so regardless, I'm going to pay all of these bills. I'm going to pay Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Audible, as well as my camper, Amazon, and Boost. And you can see I've checked some of these off. I've already started making these payments. Like I said, I'm filming this a little bit later in the week. So we're going to go with Disney Plus. And I'm going to budget $7 for that. And I've got Hulu, which I'm going to budget $12 for. I do have the bundle with Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN. I just have them as separate line items because they charge separately. I already had a Hulu account when I signed up for Disney Plus, so I got the discounted rate, but they're two separate line items. Also, I have the Hulu no ads, so that's why it's a little bit more expensive than whatever the price is if you don't have the no ads version. I got tired of watching ads. I watch Hulu way more than I watch Netflix and Disney Plus. My family really loves Disney Plus and Netflix, but I'm a Hulu gal all of the way, and I got tired of watching all the ads, so I pay a little bit more for the no ad service. Next up, we have Netflix. And for Netflix, we have the full 4 screens, Ultra HD, like the highest package you can get, because my husband's all about that. And so I'm going to budget $16 for that. Next up, we have Audible. So I'm kind of taking care of all of my streaming services this week. My husband is super into audiobooks, like super, super. So he loves Audible, and it makes him happy, so I'm happy. We're going to budget $15 for that. Next, we have my camper payment. We are making payments on a camper, which I absolutely love. We spend all summer there, practically every weekend. It sits on an annual campsite. We love it. We're paying $200 a month for that camper, and it's well worth it. I love it. Next up, we have Amazon, which is a minimum payment on a credit card. The way that we handle our credit card debt is using the debt snowball method. So we pay the minimum payments to all of our credit cards, of course, so that we don't default on those. And then we take the card that has the lowest balance, the card that we're like really focusing on, and we put extra money towards that card every week. So Amazon is not the card we're currently working on. It's one that we will tackle towards the end of our journey because it's got a high balance. Very high. I have an Amazon shopping addiction. Let me know if you feel me. So I will be so happy the day that we pay that off. And I think that this is one of the cards that once we pay it off, we're going to close down. Most of the time we keep our credit cards open because we want to have a high credit score in a couple of years down the line when we're ready to purchase a new home. But Amazon, oh, it gets me. It's so easy, just one click and it's delivered to my door 2 days from now. It's tough. I really struggle with Amazon. The rewards are great. You know, you get 5% cash back, and we buy a lot of things on Amazon, a lot of like household type things and whatnot, but we also do a lot of impulse shopping with Amazon. So I don't know, I have to kind of weigh that and really figure out what I want to do. Luckily, I got plenty of time because, like I said, I think that'll be one of the cards we tackle at the back end of our debt-free journey. Short story, very, very long. I'm budgeting $140 for the minimum payment on that. And lastly, we have Boost Mobile, which is my phone bill. We have 4 lines, unlimited talk, text, data, and we also have hotspot capability. We pay $130 a month, which I think is great for 4 lines. We are on like a family plan. So that is everything for under the bills category. I'm going to pull in my trusty calculator here, also known as my phone, and we're going to add these things up. And you guys are going to see my reflection of my ring light. I'll try to hold the phone so that you can see the numbers but not the ring light. We'll see how that works. So we got 175 plus 7 plus 12 plus 16 plus 15 plus 200 plus 140 plus 130, and that's $695 for this bills category. So that is the budget for that. At the end of the week, once all of this spending has happened, I will come back and post another video, which will be my budget results video, and you guys will see the actual amounts that I spent. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you do. Okay, this video is so long already. Let's knock the rest of this out. Next, we have my cash envelopes. As I mentioned at the start of this video, I really like to do things in cash. So all of our weekly spending, the money that's going to go out and be replenished every single week, we do in cash envelopes. I keep cash envelopes in my wallet. I have the Conscious wallet. It came with the wallet, the strap, and all of the cash envelopes, as well as some tracking stickers, not stickers, tracking cards. I did a whole unboxing video of this Conscious wallet, which I will try to remember to put in a little iCard above, should be right up here. I think, yeah. You guys can check that out. I love the Conscious wallet. All right, so envelopes. First up is my husband's spending money. He's going to get $40 in cash. I give him the cash at the start of the week. He does whatever he wants with it. Next up, we have my spending money, which is very much the same. It's $40 that I can do whatever I want. This spending money is for our wants. These are not needs. This is not if I need, I don't know, Band-Aids. I don't get that from my spending money. I take that out of my household budget. This is for me to spend in any way that I please, for something fun or something that I want. Okay, next up we have gas. This is gasoline for my Subaru Forester. We budget $40 a week for that. My husband and I share that car. It's our personal vehicle. He has a company vehicle as well that he drives to and from work, as well as throughout the day at work. He is a, he does service. He's a plumber. He does sewer and drain cleaning. So he has that truck and the company pays that gas. Our personal vehicle is what this gas money is for. It's $40. Next up we have eating out. This is for my family to have a nice meal out, whether it's at a restaurant, which we're not really doing right now, or takeout or whatever, and I budget $40 a week for that. I regularly go over that, so this is something I do need to reevaluate. I either need to get myself under control or I need to up this budget. I'm hoping that I can get myself under control, but that might not be realistic because I keep saying, I'm going to get myself under control and spend less on eating out, and then I keep going over. So we'll have to see. For now, we're sticking with $40. Lastly, I have miscellaneous, which is also $40. You can see I like consistency. I like nice round numbers. This miscellaneous budget takes care of anything that comes up throughout the week that I didn't budget for, or it covers any overage in some of these other categories, which is often how that miscellaneous budget gets used, but it's good that I have it there. I know myself, I know I need a little bit of a cushion. That's what miscellaneous does. All right, so I don't need my calculator to know that this adds up to $200 for our cash envelopes. Next up, we have sinking funds. If you're not familiar with sinking funds, this is just essentially savings. It's little bits of money that we save throughout the year for things that we know are coming up. So I keep a sinking fund for Christmas where I sock a little bit of money away throughout the year so that when Christmas rolls around, I don't have to put Christmas gifts on a credit card. So we have just come up with several funds that we are saving little bits of money for throughout the year, and it's been a game changer with my budgeting. I never used to have sinking funds, and then when something would come up, there you go, sinking funds. When something would come up, I would just be up a creek. Like, I would either have to scrounge around for that money in my budget, or, you know, I'd swipe a credit card. We didn't have credit cards for years. I didn't get my first credit card until I was in my late 20s. It used to be that if we had something that came up, we would figure out a way to pay it, or we would go without. And then we got credit cards, and of course you guys know the evils of credit cards if you can't use them responsibly, which we could not at the time. We were in a financial time when things were rough, and money was tight, and it was a difficult time, and we rang up our credit cards. And now we're paying for it, obviously, but sinking funds were a game changer in making it so that we can stick to our budget. We can have all the things that we want and need and pay off debt. So if you're not doing sinking funds, this is the #1 change I recommend for you with your budgeting. I love sinking funds. All right, enough preaching. Let's go on to what we're actually going to save for this week. So I have about a dozen sinking funds, but I don't fund all of them every week or even every month. I just pick the ones that are most important to our goals at the current time. Right now we're going to save for our home insurance. That's our annual insurance for our home. We're going to pay $75 towards that fund. We're also going to do home maintenance, which is, you know, if we want to do any like redecorating or renovating, or if we need furnace filters, that sort of thing. That's always the example that I use. And we're going to put $25 towards home maintenance. I'm also going to be starting a new sinking fund this week, which is birthdays. Remember how I told you guys I've overspent in the name of my birthday? And I don't want to do that anymore. So we're going to start putting money aside throughout the year so that when our birthdays roll around, we have money set aside for that. My birthday is in November, as I mentioned. It's November 7th, but all of my guys in my life, my husband and our 2 sons, are all January babies. So I'm gonna be putting money in this fund pretty consistently over the next few months so that when January hits, we have a little bit of money to celebrate their birthdays. Robbie's gonna be 18 in January. I don't want to talk about it. I'm like devastated that my baby's going to be a man, all grown up. So, you know, we're going to be really putting money aside for this. You guys are going to see this pop up a lot in my budgets throughout November and December. This week, we're going to put $50 in there. So that's a total of $150 for sinking funds. I always try to put at least $150 a week into our sinking funds. Next up, we have extra debt, which is our debt snowball. If you've been watching, you know that we are up to $150 that we pay extra to our lowest credit card every single week. And that, I am so proud of that. I know $150, maybe it doesn't seem like a lot to you. Maybe it seems like a whole lot to you. Everybody's at different places in their budgeting journey, but $150 a week. The fact that I have an extra $150 at the end of every week that I can pay towards that credit card is astounding, because we used to spend every single dime. As soon as it came in, We were living paycheck to paycheck, and it's so lovely that I have money to set aside for savings and our debt. It's just wonderful. I cannot tell you guys how freeing it is to have that be the case. Being a stay-at-home mom, living on one income, we've struggled throughout the years, and this is a great place to be. Okay, lastly, we have extra savings. I like to sock away a little tiny bit of extra money here and there just for whatever. Something fun that comes up. I want to be able to say yes to opportunities and not have to say, no, we can't do that because it's not in the budget. And so this is why I set aside a little bit of extra money, and it can be for anything. It can be to treat my family to a fun outing, which we're not really doing right now, but it could be to, you know, buy something for the house that we've really been wanting. This is like extra savings for something fun. It's not necessarily a need. We could use it for that if we find ourselves short one week. We could pull this money out, but I set aside this money primarily for fun, for something to say yes to, an opportunity, that sort of thing. So I'm going to stick $50 into my extra savings this week. And that's it, you guys. I know I say that's it. This is like a 40-minute video. I'm sorry, I got a little rambly, but that is my budget for the week of November 3rd, first paycheck. I'm really hoping I can stick to this and not have to come back in my budget results video and mark this up with a red pen. Anytime I'm over budget, I use a red pen, and I'm really hoping not to even have to pull that baby out this week, so we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, take a minute, give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. You can leave me a comment down below. Let me know how your first week of November is looking. Are you guys on track? Are you, making progress towards your goals? I'd love to hear from you. I love chit-chatting in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!